It's not going to be a very long class. It's going to be a short class, and we'll be talking about something very important in public speaking. It's a major part of speaking. That thing about speaking that allows you to deliver. And if you've followed me long enough, you've heard me say severally that in public speaking, content is not king.
I've just asked him to ask
Maybe
her
in
to.
social media, maybe on social media, maybe on the internet. Yes, most likely on social media, on the internet, content is king.
Not just
Public speaker, got to find that content isn't king. I realize that some people here allowing their sound to filter in. So if you're having conversations while we're going on, innocent, to mute your sound. And Baba Lola, please, you need to mute your sound so that we don't have please let the sound be muted. All right, so as I was saying, like I've often said that in public speaking, content is not king. What is king is your ability to deliver on your message. And I've also said to you severally that delivery is what is king, content is only prince. And a lot of times we focus on our content, we focus on what we are delivering or what we're giving out in terms of content, and fail to realize that our presence, the atmosphere that we create around us, our appearance, our tonality, everything that we do on stage contributes highly to our success as public speakers. And so if you're writing anything today, I want to write that down: platform presence, how to create your own atmosphere. Platform presence and stage wins. Platform presence and stage wins, how to create your own atmosphere. And this is so vital. If you see anyone who is charismatic, who is influential, who is doing well, who is able to deliver as a politician, deliver as a leader, deliver as a business person, deliver as a minister, as a pastor, that person understands the power of presence, understands the power of platform presence. One thing I want to write down quickly is that platform presence gives you positional power. Platform presence gives you positional power. What does that mean? It means that whenever you are on the stage, you already have the advantage. There's already the perception that you have something that the audience doesn't have. You have the knowledge, you have some insights, some hindsight, some foresight that the audience listening to doesn't have. So there is no need for you to have fear. Another thing you must understand about the platform is that the moment you're on stage, the audience quickly begins to evaluate you. So the audience begins to determine whether or not you're the kind of person they should listen to, whether they should embrace your message. They judge you, unfortunately. They also judge your message. They want to find out what is in it for me. Why should I be listening to this guy or this woman? So that judging occurs automatically. The audience is picking a lot of signals. They're picking a lot of your energy, your vibe. They're picking a lot of stuff from you. And so you've got to be deliberate and intentional about the vibe, about the energy, about the content you're giving out, about the atmosphere you're creating. So this is vital. That's why platform presence is a very important subject when it comes to public speaking. I'm going to go right into my slides. And if you're coming to class, you need to take down notes. When I give you assignments to do, I'm not just particular about your content. So you may have quality content and you still get a very poor mark. Be very knowledgeable. That's why you have professors who don't make good speakers. You have people who are very intelligent, who are very smart, but they can't deliver on their message. You need to understand not just the mechanics, not just the content of public speaking, not just putting together your speeches. You also need to know the dynamics. So there's a lot between the mechanics. That's the brick and mortar, putting the things together, putting your content together, the speech preparation methodology, all of that stuff. Understand how you're going to transition. But you also need to understand the art, not just the science of speaking, but the art of speaking. The part of it that makes you deliver on your message. Because at the end of the day, the audience don't just want to hear you, they want to experience you. So every time you speak at an event, whatever the event be, even if it's a 5-minute speech, remember that you're supposed to leave your presence. You're supposed to give the people an experience. So I'm doing a challenge, and I'm going to do a flyer for that. For every one of us, we're going to be starting from August 12th, so that all of us who are in class can be part of it. And I encourage you to do it. What's the challenge you'll be doing? The challenge is simple. We're going to do a 30 video challenge, 30 video challenges, 30 videos. And the assumption is that if you, my students, will do 30 videos covering different subject matters, and it can cover any kind of subject. So something, I don't want to impose a subject matter on you so that you don't think, oh, you're limited. I want you to flow with your areas of interest, because at the end of the day, you will still end up speaking about things that you're passionate about. You'll still be invited to speak on subject matters that you are perceived to have mastery over. So I encourage you to pick the topics. Now, you don't have, you limit your timing to 7 minutes. 7 minutes videos. 7 minute videos, 30 of them. And you're going to do them in the space of 1 month. We'll do them in 1 full month. And here's what we're going to do. We'll do them in 1 month. So, sorry, not in 1 month, not in 1 month, sorry, in 3 months, in 3 months. So we're going to do 10 each month. So if we have 30 days in a month, what you're expected to do is you're going to create 1 video every 3 days. So at the end of your 30 days or 31 days, we'd have done 10 videos. Now, each video should just be 7 minutes. 7 minutes. You can talk on relationships. Maybe you're an expert on relationships. So you can start talking about it, run a series. You can do 5, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, 7 minutes, 7 minutes, 7 minutes. Then go to another subject matter. So you don't have to have different topics. You can be on a particular topic. So don't choke your message, don't choke your videos with too much content. Break it. Be very expressive. And again, for those of you who are my students, we have 10 indicators. We call it the speech mastery analyzer. And every time you do your assignment, I assess you based on that. The speech mastery analyzer is a public speaking tool that we use to evaluate and assess students who are public speakers. And basically, it just contains a few elements. For example, your opening, or what we call your primacy. Your primacy is how you start, the first words you say, and not just your first words, how you begin, how you engage the audience. And for those of you who followed me the last time, we spoke about something called pre-opening, opening, and post-opening. If you follow my class. So how do you knit together your pre-opening, your opening, and your post-opening? And how do you transition? So we look at your opening, your primacy, the quality of your opening, the hook of the opening. What opening combo did you use? What kind of opening did you use? What were the first statements? What quotes did you use? What starts did you use? What kind of opening did you use? And what combinations did you use? Then we also look at transition. We also score you on, and how do we score you? We use a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being very poor, 5 being average, 10 being excellent. And that's basically based on the speech judge, the judge. And that's me now, by assessment. I listen to you, I see how you open, and I give you a score. I listen to your transition, I give you a score. Same thing, so we look at your primacy, we look at your transition, we look at your close, or your recency, how you conclude your thoughts, how best you conclude your thoughts, how you leave us thinking. We also look at your elocution. And we say elocution actually talks about your speaking, but we're looking at your delivery. We can say elocution or delivery. How you're able to deliver that message in such a way that it makes an impression on us. All right? Not just your content. We also look at your content, of course. The few things we look at your content, the quality of your content, how structured. In fact, we split content to not just content, but content, and they also have logic. You have quality content, but you don't logically arrange your content. You have good content, but it's not logical. So we have content, we also have logic. We assess you based on how logical, how much of the answers does your speech answer, the questions the speech answer. It must be logical. It must be chronological. All right, there's a topic I'm going to be teaching us very soon on how to organize your speeches. You either want to do it in a topical manner, in a chronological manner, or in a spatial manner. I'll help you understand those dynamics and see how you can start implementing them in your speeches. So Another thing that we also assess you aside your logic is your audience appeal. What do you mean by audience appeal? Audience appeal simply talks about how you're able to connect with the audience, how you're able to get the audience to buy in, to follow you. And we say that audience appeal is divided into two. For those of you who are my students, you know that audience appeal is divided into two. One, it begins with audience analysis. So you have analysis before your presentation, analysis done while you're presenting, and analysis done after, post-analysis after you've done your presentation. That's to give you quality feedback to know how to do your next presentation better. So your pre-analysis, analysis before your presentation, helps you put into cognizance the situation, put into cognizance the demographics of the audience, what's their age, that will determine what kind of stories you're going to share, what kind of examples you're going to share, what's their already existing philosophies, what has already been influencing them, what do they want to hear, what do they need to hear, what's their educational background, what's their financial status, what's their income, what's their race, what's their ethnicity, all of those factors. Are they men, are they women, are they old men, are they young women, older men, older women, whatever, are they children, and what's their qualification? So you need to do all of that analysis before you go on stage, before you go for an event, to ask your hosts or the principal questions. They give you those data. That data is important. It informs your story because your goal as a speaker in communication is to connect with, or you want to connect with them deeply. So you have to get these things together. So assess you. So audience appeal begins with your audience analysis and then proceeds to audience engagement. You cannot effectively create engagement with the audience without identifying what kind of audience you are dealing with and in details. And sometimes audience analysis is part of your preparation as a speaker. It's a major part of your preparation. And for those of you who follow me, you know that we have 4 things that we must put into place as we prepare. First, our subject is critical and key. Then our audience analysis, which is very vital. Then our purpose, what aim, objective we have. And then finally, our sequence, our arrangements. All right, so we look, audience appeal is audience analysis plus audience engagement. Engagement simply talks about those things you're going to use. Are you going to use icebreakers? Are you going to use questions? What kind of stories are you going to share? What kind of illustrations are you going to share? You know, are you going to use all of the things that you put on stage to engage the audience so they can connect strongly with you is vital. So we assess you based on that, on a scale of 1 to 10. And a few other things we also assess you on. We assess you based on your appearance, how you appear, we understand, I'm going to teach you that shortly, I'm teaching that today, the psychology of colors, how it makes how it creates your presence and all of that. So what colors are you using and so on. So your appearance, we also assess you based on your appearance. We also assess you based on your body language, We also go ahead and look at so we give you on a scale of 1 to 10, how to use your body, your gestures. Then we'll move on to talk about your vocal variety. It's very critical, how you use your voice on stage, and of course your clothes. So if you look at it, you get 80, 70, 80. That means you're getting better. That is you're good. If you do 30 videos in 3 months, trust me, you'll be an expert. You'll be so good. People say, and the thing about being good is that you wouldn't know that you're becoming better. It is people, your colleagues at work, members in church, people who listen to you, they'll say, wow, you're doing this thing so well. But you've got to be willing to rehearse. If you're just doing us, I like you to stop your mind so that you don't interrupt what we're doing. All right. So again, by doing so, I want to encourage every single person. If you think that what we're doing here makes sense, most of you have invested a lot of money. You're putting monies to learn this, and that's my passion, is for you to learn this. I don't want you to just not learn it. So if you're putting resources, why not make the effort? I know most of us are very busy. I'm still a very busy person, but create time for this. It's going to be worth it. It's going to help you. I tell you, public speaking is an eternal skill, in the sense that in the future you can be quoted. You want to become immortal. You want to be quoted. You want to be the quotes that others will quote. That quota that others will quote. Then you need to pay particular attention to not just your writing, but also your speaking. So that is why I encourage you to do the 30 videos. We're going to do the challenge. I'll bring up flyers, put it out there, and we'll assess ourselves. Every week we put out one, we have to put out at least 2 or 3 videos. And by the end of the month, we'll put out 30 videos. So that means that a lot of preparation. Devote 1 hour to preparation, do the videos. When you do the videos on YouTube, when you do the videos with your camera, it is very easy to upload them on YouTube. First of all, you have to have a YouTube channel. How do you have a YouTube channel? It's very easy. To have a YouTube channel, you simply have to have a Gmail account. If you're using an Android phone, then that's easy. You already have the YouTube app already on your phone. I'm talking about Go YouTube. I'm talking about YouTube itself. So if you have a Go YouTube app, maybe already in your phone, it means that you don't have the YouTube app. So go to your Google Play Store and download YouTube into your phone so you can have a YouTube channel. If you have a Gmail account, that would be helpful. If you're using an iPhone or any other phone that is not Android, then you will need to use your Gmail to set up. So when you have a Gmail account, it enables you to have access to the Google Drive. You have a Google Drive, you have Google Map, you have Google Meet. There's something called Google Meet, something close to what we do here on Zoom. You have Google Meet, you have the Google Drive, and all of that, and your Gmail, your Google Plus. So you can also have access to the YouTube channel. So when you have done your video and it's in your gallery, you can easily share from your gallery to YouTube. And remember to put your title, put a bit of description, and then upload it. Now it's as easy as it is. So if you're here and not done that, make sure to do that. For those of us who are doing certifications, you want to get certified abroad, these are the rules to follow. So if you're doing a video, final video, send it to us so we can send to our affiliate body that will give you certification. You've got to make sure you follow all of these rules. Make sure that your transition, your opening, all of that is put in place, and you score high there. Prepare your content. Make sure there's sufficient lights. Wherever you are, you probably use a day. Make sure there's light. Make sure the sound comes out well. Do your video, upload on YouTube, and send us the link. If you don't know how to do that, reach out to us. We'll help you guide you through the process, or we can get someone to do it for you. So 30 days challenge. 30 videos challenge in 90 days, and that's what we're going for. All right, so that's pretty much the intro. I'm going to now take you to the slides of today and hope that you follow. Please follow me carefully as we get into our subject matter today. I encourage you to write because we will start shortly. All right. So we're talking today about platform presence, how to create your own atmosphere. Every speaker has an atmosphere. So if you're writing down, you can also put air, A-I-R, air, around you. And that's what creates your presence. That's what oozes out. That's what means, that's the vibe, that's the energy that you release. And platform presence is critical. So let's define what that is. My name is George Asian. I'm your coach. I'm a life coach, motivational speaker, peak performance consultant. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I do a lot of business. Some of you just know me as a public speaker. Some of you don't know that I'm a real entrepreneur with several businesses running, and you can get to meet that part of you. If you're interested in business or in investment or in trading or any of these things, you can also connect that dimension of me. But I'm also a coach. I train people on how to speak better, life coach. So you can visit my website, all right, www.georgeasia.com. Something I encourage you to also push to getting as a speaker who wants to grow. Have your own website. I'm also on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. You can like my page on Facebook and follow me on Facebook. I'm on Google Plus. That's my direct WhatsApp number. And then I'm the CEO of Learn and Ventures, president of Power Minds Community. All of these registered. All right. So what is platform presence? What is platform presence? Platform presence is the courage the speaker has on stage. So what you want to underline is courage. And that's why I highlighted in red. It's the courage the speaker has on stage. That courage the speaker has on stage. Number two, platform presence is the impact of the body language the speaker has on the audience, the impact of the body language. And we know that when it comes to influence, when it comes to speaking, three things are important: your tonality, your body language, and your words. Your tonality, that is your vocal variety, constitutes 38% of the influence you'll have on the audience. And then your body language constitutes 55%. And then, of course, your tonality constitutes, or your words constitute 7%. Just a minute, please. Wait for me. So I guess you're taking out that much notes. All right. So let's go on to look at some more definitions of platform presence. What does it mean to have platform presence or platform personality? What does it mean to create your atmosphere? Platform presence or atmosphere creation is the energy the speaker brings into his speech delivery, that energy, that vibe. And then finally, platform presence is all the activities that go on the stage or podium that accentuate what was underlined is accentuate. If you're checking out the meaning from the dictionary, it will mean to emphasize, to make prominent, to give ascendancy, to make bolder, to make louder, to bring to the forefront, to bring to light, to make important, to emphasize presence of the speakers. All those things you do on stage, everything you do on stage, including the props that you put on stage, to make loud your presence, platform presence. And every speaker has to be intentional about what goes on the stage and so on. So it's the energy the speaker brings into his speech delivery. It's all the activities that goes on stage or the podium that accentuate the presence of the speaker. It's the courage of the speaker. I'm sure that includes his dressing. It's the impact of the body language. How much body language you have. We said earlier that audiences are assessing you, they're evaluating you, and they can sense fear. They can sense uncertainty. They can sense confusion. So you've got to shield all of that by using your physiology better. Your body has a language that the audience would understand. If it is oozing out confidence, they will pick up the signals, they pick up the vibe. So this is so vital. All right. So other words we use to define platform presence is charisma. Oh, I like charisma on stage. And platform presence is not just for public speakers. We also have it for artists, for comedians, for people who use the platform. Platform personality is also another word we can define it. So what are the keys to platform presence? What are those keys that if you use, it will unlock your presence? It will help you quickly, right now, present tense, create the atmosphere that you seek, get the audience to listen to you. What are those things you need to put together that will help you deliver, better? One, thorough preparation and mastery of the subject. So you don't speak on a matter that you're not thoroughly prepared. And again, matter of emphasis, and to reiterate this point, preparation in public speaking is when you know your subject, when you have analyzed your audience very well, when you know your objective for the purpose of your presentation, and then when you have arranged the sequence, the structure of the organization of your speech. So subject, audience, purpose, sequence. Those are the four things that show you that you are prepared, especially your subject matter mastery of the subject. It is very vital. But two, personal confidence, confidence in yourself. A good, healthy concept of you is vital to creating a process. You need to believe in yourself. You need to have some level of certainty. When two people meet, the person who is more certain determines the direction of influence. When two people meet, the person who is more certain determines the direction of influence. When you and your audience meet, the person of the two of you, two parties, that is more certain, that has more certainty, determine the direction of influence. So when you don't have enough certainty about your subject, clarity about your subject, certainty about yourself, and what you're delivering to the table, the direction of influence will not go their way. Rather, they would intimidate you literally. They will make you feel not very confident. So personal confidence is key to unlocking platform presence. Great appearance is also very key to unlocking your presence. You need to understand appearance, because people will first see you before they hear you. People will first see you before they hear you. Knowing how to use your voice. I like to use what manipulates your voice, but be careful. I'm not saying in a negative sense. The ability to bend your voice in a way, color your voice in a way that is appealing to the audience. And stage control simply speaks about your deliberateness, your intentionality in making sure your speaking props are in order. Everything that is on stage is planned, it's prepared, even the music, the lights. And then the audience engagement and icebreakers, those icebreakers you're going to do, those are the things that unlock platform presence. I wanted to look at this fellow. Now, this fellow, his name is Fela Durotoye. Now, Fela Durotoye is a senior colleague in this industry, and it's an amazing speaker. I like you to look at his dressing. Notice that he has his pointer or his presenter in his hands, and there's a slide behind him. And look at his dressing, his choice of color, the red tie, the blue and white shirt he's wearing, white collars, a black suit he's wearing. All of this makes sense. But what are those things that has made Fela stand out as a transformational speaker, as a speaker that people need to listen to? For those who don't know him, Fela also at some point contested, in 2019, he contested to become president of Nigeria. And he's into leadership, he teaches leadership, he trains banks. He's pretty much doing exactly what I'm doing, helping people become better. So here are a few tips that I deduced from his strategy. What defines his presence? What gives him that platform? What allows him to project his presence? Number one, Fela Durotoye is a very fast speaker, so you can say speech pace. Number two, interesting thing about Fela Durotoye is that he's a very, very engaging speaker, and he's engaging with his dress. His fashion sense is interesting. I've seen slides, but very few people create captivating and pictorial slides like Fela Durotoye. Maybe you need to go learn, do a course on putting together slides. That could be part of the thing that sets you apart from others. I know a pastor who every time he's speaking and preaching, because he's choosing to be a teacher, what he does is that he has slides that he shows to audiences, members. Also, storytelling. Fela knows how to tell good stories. Right? Few pastors don't know how to tell stories. Tell stories that are engaging, high vocal tonality, almost sounding as a preacher, and he uses a lot of rhymes and quotes. So that is style. That's what makes him unique. That's what brings him out. So you want to pay attention to a few of them, and see what ideas you can add to bring out, project your own platform presence. And then we also have Les Brown. Les Brown is one motivational speaker I admire. You can check him out. Go on Facebook, go on YouTube, watch his videos. Amazing guy, American motivational speaker, black guy. One of the things that sets him apart, what brings his presence, what projects his presence. One, he uses a lot of quotes and he references others a lot. He uses a lot of quotes and references others a lot. He takes advantage of the fact that of his baritone voice, high, strong, fast-paced vocal tonality. That's another key quality you notice about him. Then his personal story is very interesting, makes it engaging and long. And then he always couples with his traditional blue and black suit with a fire red tie. That's okay. You can't see his red tie, but usually when he's dressed at his best, he wears his traditional blue and black suit with a fire red tie. One of the mentors I respect so much, follow closely, American's motivational speaker and people performance coach by the name Anthony Robbins. Now, what does Anthony Robbins do? Anthony Robbins has something very unique about him. He goes the other route in that he is more engaging with the audience. That's him engaging the audience some more. And another thing you notice about him is that he's a bit casual, like you can see in this picture. He's casual in his dressing. And you see his style and platform presence production. One, active audience engagement is very vital when he's doing his thing. Active audience engagement, icebreakers, he uses icebreakers. He uses the space, he doesn't hide behind the lantern. He uses a lot of quotes, facts, and stories. That's something that you have going for him. He's a casual dresser. And then he's fast-paced, uses his fast-paced and vocal tonality to project. Because the idea for you to write down these tips, these keys they use, and see how you can use them for your own presentation. All right. I'm sure you know this guy. I know him growing up as a child and even down to my young teenage years, even down to when I was a mature person, close when I was getting married. This guy dominated one of the most entertaining musicians the world has ever seen. Michael Jackson, amazing guy. If there's anyone who can be a definition of platform presence, it's Michael Jackson. Look at his stand, look at his pose, look at he can stand up there on the stage for a while, just staring at the audience, and people are screaming, "Oh, Michael, we love you, and they're falling under the anointing, quote unquote, literally, and an amazing guy, so much presence, music, smoke behind, lighting. He understood the power of presence. Before he sang, before he danced, he had already got in the hearts of the audience with his presence. I'm sure you know Michael Jackson. So now for you to have presence or platform presence, you need to understand control. Write that down. For you to have presence or platform presence, you need to understand control. You need to understand control. You can underline the word control. What do I mean by control? There are two kinds of controls that we are talking about. We're talking about the two kinds of controls I say you need to understand. One, self-control, and number two, stage control. For you to have presence, you need to have two kinds of controls, self-control and stage control. So let's start with the first control you need to understand, and that is self-control. When we say self-control, we're talking about you handling yourself, making sure that you're not allowing fear, glossophobia, as we call it. So you need to understand how to handle all of that. And some of you already know how to do it. Some of you know how to do it with the familiar audience, but we don't know how to do it with an unfamiliar audience. Rest assured, in the coming days, we're going to be teaching how to overcome stage fright. And I'm sure that we'll go over it again. I taught it before, we'll go over it again and help you understand how to, once and for all, bring stage fright to bear. But let us just do a little bit of analysis of what we call glossophobia. Now, glossophobia is a combination of two words, glosso and phobia. Glosso being tongue, phobia meaning fear. Glosso being tongue, phobia meaning fear. And there are signs. That's so you can say the nervousness of the tongue or the fear of the tongue or stage fright, as we call it. So when you have extreme nervousness, then it's a sign that you have glossophobia. You have sweaty face, palms, and hands before your presentation. It means you have glossophobia. You have knocking legs. You have knocking legs. You have facial flushes or red face. It means that you have glossophobia. You have watery eyes. You can't sleep before your presentation. It means you have glossophobia. You can't speak well before your presentation, or while you're on stage, the tongue is tied and there's incoherency. It means you have glossophobia. Right now, it means you have glossophobia. So it's something that we should deal with. We also call it another name. Aside glossophobia, we call it presentaritis. 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 What are the symptoms of presentaritis? Sometimes you'll be surprised, or what we also call glossophobia. Sometimes you'll be surprised that people have rising temperature just because they have a presentation. I'm sure you don't have that going for you. And if you do, you need to have a one-on-one session with me so we can have that conversation about how to deal with that. Sometimes your mind go blank. You're prepared, you're right there on the stage, but your mind goes blank. You're sweating in your brows. Your throat is tight. Your mouth is dry. The shortness of breath, okay? I mean, you have rapid heartbeats. There's butterflies in your stomach. Sometimes you feel like going to use the convenience, not just to urinate, but to use to do number two. You have sweaty palms. I mean, your hands sometimes can be shivering. Then your legs are knocking knees, and you have cold feet. You have cold feet. All of these are symptoms of presentaritis. And so we want to be able to gain control of all of these so that you can become much better. I hope you're hearing me. Now put in the chat, in the comment section, if you're listening, if you're hearing me loud and clear. I know that I'm not just the only one speaking to myself. Please put in the comment section that you're hearing me loud and clear. So, but here's the deal, guys. Sorry, that's not correct. The first L-I-V should be L-I-F-E. So a life lived in fear is a life half lived. So if you're writing, correct that. If your thought is unknown, correct that. A life, not a live. A life lived in fear is a life half lived. You cannot live your life in fear. You've got to be bold. You've got to become your voice. You've got to go out there and do what you have to do. Okay, you can't keep living in fear. All right, there's this quote from the film Cinderella, the story. You know, it says that don't let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. Don't let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. Game is story, not story. So correct it if you're writing. S-T-O-R-Y, not S-T-R-O-R-Y. S-T-O-R-Y. I'm sure the guy who puts this put his life together forgot to correct that. So don't let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. Ralph Waldo Emerson adds, do the things that you fear, and the death of fear is. So you need to have a sense of control. You need to have control. And what are the mentalities and activities for overcoming speaker anxiety? What are those activities, that mentality you need to have to overcome speaker anxiety or presentaritis or glossophobia or stage fright, as we call it? A few of them, of course, we have a course, so we teach this extensively because you need to gain this level of confidence to help you. You need to understand, first of all, you need to understand that public speaking is a learned skill. You learn it, a skill, you improve, you get to improve as you keep. Like I've given you a challenge to do 30 days, 30 videos in 90 days, 30 videos in 90 days. I will serve as a coach. Some of you are already doing videos, some of you are sending videos already. So I'll count it as one already. So your goal is to do 30 videos, covering different subjects, so you can fine-tune, sharpen, be evaluated by a judge. It's not good enough to just do the videos. It's good enough when you do the videos and I assess them. And then that will help you, give you your judge, give you an assessment so that your next video becomes better. It becomes, as a result, it's produced as a result of the knowledge you've gotten from your previous evaluation from me. And that's why you're part of this training. That's why you pay the amount of money you pay, so that you can learn how to improve. So public speaking is a learned skill. And even if you are eloquent, you need to understand the protocols and the principles of speaking. And you also need to perfect it, all right? Give up the belief that you have to be perfect. I'm not looking for perfection. I rarely ever look for perfection. I am not perfect myself. We're looking for you being better. And again, practice, practice, practice. You're going to practice with your tape recorder. You're going to practice with your videos. You're going to practice, practice, practice. Another thing that you want to learn to do is that you want to know your stuff and know your tough. Know your stuff means know your materials, as it be, have a subject matter mastery, have subject matter mastery, be an expert in that area, and know your tough. By tough, I mean the audience that you're speaking to. And the last thing that will help you overcome stage fright is to practice mentally. There are certain visualization techniques that if you have done our science of self-confidence class that we teach you, certain visualization techniques that if you use, it will help you to preempt, to plan ahead. There's that's modalities. I'm not going to teach you that now, but basically you can sit down and right in the comfort of your home, rehearse the entire presentation at the back of your mind. Go through it, and that will help you do better. When we teach that class, I'll show you how to practice mentally specifically. All right, so this is aside. I love the quote so much by Warren Buffett, who is one of the richest men in the world. I had to put his quotes here. He said that if you improve your communication skills, I guarantee you will earn 50% more money over your lifetime. I love that. He's saying that if you improve your communication skills, I guarantee you will earn 50% more money over your lifetime. So imagine the benefits of taking time to go through these rigors, go through this training, go through the exercise, understand how to control. The first control is stage control. You can improve your public speaking. You can gain control, self-control, and become good at speaking and deliver well. You would increase your income by 50%. That is what Warren Buffett, top investor in the world, says about speaking. Now, the second kind of control you need to have is stage control. And here, really has to do with you. Sometimes it has to do with the organizers, and that's why you need to be very careful. You need to work with them so you can achieve some of the things that I'm going to be highlighting. But there's one that you can actually handle. When we say stage control, what we're talking about here is all the activities that creates presence and accentuates or emphasize the speaker's personality. We already said that as a definition of platform presence. So we're repeating it as stage control. All those things you do on stage creates a presence that makes loud the presence on stage. That is, you need to have some level of control in those areas. Now, one thing that you can do for yourself as a speaker is to dress sharp, to make sure you dress sharp. Dress for the occasion, dress to even impress for the occasion, because people will first see you before they hear you. It's part of your presence. Be particular about your dressing, because your appearance can inspire confidence in yourself. And your appearance will also inspire confidence in others. It's when you look good, people will feel this guy has something to say. So that's what we're going to start evaluating from, how you dress. So dress sharp. Understand the psychology of colors in public speaking and in marketing. Now, if you're doing anything business or doing anything public speaking, you need to understand the imperative, the importance, the pertinence, the significance, that's the word I'm looking for. The significance of colors. Colors matter. The choice of colors, you don't just dress anyhow. You got to be particular about your choice of colors and the kind of fashion, kind of dress you wear. They all make it similar. If you're doing a fashion show, if you're going for a dinner, if you're doing a promotional campaign, the colors may be different, may be loud, may be wild, may be unhinged. But if you're doing something that has to do with public speaking and marketing in a conference, in a summit, in a seminar, you need to be particular about your choice of colors. So for men, and this is good to do if you're going for any event, except a young meeting where you can dress with your t-shirt and your jean and all of that. You're going for an important event where serious guys are sitting down there, and it's a business meeting or a conference. You want to go with your black suit and your red tie, red or blue tie, or any other tie that is sharp to help you. Or you can, for men, you can also wear a navy blue suit and a lower shade of yellow, or a fire red tie, or magenta tie. This dressing will help make you dress. That's helping you make dress sharp. These are colors. These are business colors: blue, black, exclusive, executive, business, marketing colors. Now for women, we encourage you to wear hunter green and black shoes, or black. I would go on black to dim, because there's a thing about women on stage. People look at the femininity of women, and if you're not careful, you're going to send a seductive vibe. So often encourage women not to wear red in presenting because they already have so much sexual energy going out there. I mean, their features uh, send out vibes. So you want to dim that and send out more conservative, more business-like messages. Unless you're doing a promotional campaign or a fashion show, dim your colors, be more conservative, be more executive. So hunter green or forest green, blue, navy blue, black, fantastic colors to wear if you're talking business or you're talking marketing. I'm sure I've said that to you on a number of occasions. So that's simple. This guy is wearing a navy blue shirt, and I don't like the rings he's wearing and the chain he's wearing, but hey guys, still good. He can do a presentation there. This guy is wearing a black, he's black, 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 strong. Guy is wearing blue suit, red tie, brown shoes, not bad. I'm sure his belt is most likely brown. For the women, that's the color hunter green. Black will fit perfectly if the woman is dressing. So now, of the three of them, I would listen to the last person on my right, facing you, on your left, looking at me. That lady who's putting her hands together, who's wearing all black because of the way her hair is arranged. You know, so there's so much attention drawn to the hair of the other two women. One that's wearing black and white with hair out there, and the other woman was hunter green, fine dress, but the hair can be very distracting. This other lady is going to speak to me about business. I'll be drawn to her message, then I'll be drawn to her body, or to her femininity, or to her sexuality. So those are things you need to pay attention to as you do your presentation. Let's quickly look at colors. The universal implication or meaning of colors over time. And like I said, your appearance, your dressing is a major part of the presence, and colors make an impression. So look at a few colors like red. Whenever you wear red, this is what it means universally. It means excitement, it means strength, it means love, it means energy. When you wear orange, it means confidence, it means success, it means bravery, it means sociality. When you wear yellow, it means, or when you use the color yellow, it means creativity, happiness, warmth, and cheer. When you use green, it means nature, healing, freshness, quality. When you use blue, it means trust, business, peace, loyalty, competence. When you use pink, it means compassion, sincerity, sophistication, sweet. When you use color purple, it means royalty, luxury, spirituality, ambition. When you use brown, it means dependable, rugged, trustworthy, simple. When you use black, it means formality, dramatic, sophistication, security. When you use white, it means clean, simplicity, innocence, and honest. These are colors that. So the next thing that we want to pay attention to, aside our dressing and the colors, is the effect of light. So don't speak at events that don't have sufficient light, because light plays a major role. Now look at this picture of this man that we showed earlier, Michael Jackson. Now this is stage. That's the light on his white dress, giving us an impression that he's literally tilting. He's defying gravity. God was an entertainer who knew how to make us feel that he could do stunts that he really couldn't do. All right. There's also this very interesting musician I love. I still do like her songs. Her name is Asha. Asha put out a concert one of those days in Lagos, and look at the way she used lights to make us have that surreal feeling. I was in that event to make us have that surreal feeling, to feel her presence as she sang hit singles. If you just join us, please mute your sound. If you just come into class, mute your sound so that your sound doesn't filter in. All right, so why do you need to have control over light? Because the thing about light is that light gives you ambience. Again, presence is ambience. Light brightens your personality. Light gives people a sense of opportunity. The room is well lit, and there's light flooding your face, not just the audience, but your face. You get to see your expressions, you get to see the sharpness of the dress, all of the distinctions about you. They see your icebreaker, they see your movement, and they can feel your process. So be particular about lighting, and this is important. So we'll go to the next important part about the dressing as a stage control. You have control over that. But light, you don't have full control over light. If you're organizing the meeting, you do. If you're not, you need to be sure that the organizers have put that in place. But three, you have control over this, the quality of your voice. The quality of your voice. When we say quality of your voice, this is what we mean. You must learn how to manipulate your voice, how to use your voice in a manner that is pleasing. We discussed prosody the other day, and we went into details. We talked about this. And, I've said that repetition is the principle for a lasting impression. So from things you are saying again, so you can retain it. What are the qualities of a good speaking voice? You need to be sure that the voice that you have right now has these qualities. And that's why I say do the videos, use the recorder, do a voice note, send to me. Let me hear you speak. The more you hear yourself speak, you improve yourself, reduce your gap fillers, you take out your gap fillers, you take out that nasty interference of your mother tongue, your pronunciation become better. Of course, you won't be perfect, but you get better as you do it. A few other things need to be added to make your voice sound quality. One, the voice has to be pleasant, conveying a sense of friendliness. The people, when they speak, they sound as if they are fighting you, or they are against you, or they hate you, or they are jealous of you. You want your voice to sound pleasant, conveying a sense of friendliness. Your voice should sound natural, reflecting the true personality and sincerity of you, the speaker. What that means is that you sound like you. Don't try to sound American or sound British. Sound like the Nigerian or the Ghanaian or the Cameroonian or the Kenyan you are. Sound like you. That sophisticated Nigerian English that people speak it. Refined, void of that heavy accent, void of the interference of your mother tongue, clear diction, sounding like you, very key. Forceful, meaning conveying vitality and strength even when it isn't especially loud. Expressive means demonstrating various shades of meaning, never sounding monotonous or emotionless. What that simply means is that when you're expressing yourself, when we're listening to you, we're feeling you, we're seeing you sound happy, feeling you sound glad, and all of that. Then easily had as a result of proper volume and clear articulation. What that simply means is that when people listen to you speak, they should hear you clearly, even if you're not using a microphone. And when you do use a microphone, people should hear you loud and clear. The distinct, you're clear, you're pronouncing words properly because you're easily heard. So those are the 5 qualities of a good speaking voice. For those of you who do exams with us, examinations with us, these are things we mentioned. We asked you that question. What are the qualities of a good speaking voice? You need to write down pleasant, natural, forceful, expressive, easily heard. Now, we taught this also. And I said, be careful about using the word manipulation. But that's what you literally do when you use your voice in this manner. This is what we call the vocal variety quadrant. We also taught it when we discussed vocal variety. So we say that you can manipulate your voice to get certain impressions, to send certain signals, to make people have an impression, to influence them. And why are we doing this? We're doing this because 38% of the influence you have on any audience will come from your vocal variety, from your projection, of the vocal projection of your voice. So if you want to sound authoritative, then you have to be slow and loud. If you want to animate, to be enthusiastic, then you have to be fast and loud. If you want to be authentic, then you want to be slow and soft. If you want people to anticipate what next you're going to say, then you have to be fast and soft. So the video on vocal variety, where we discuss this in details, is there. How the application of this quadrant truly help you to understand it. And same thing, this was done by Jeremy Donovan in 2014, where he also highlighted this stuff, slightly different, but the same thing. Up here, you have the volume, and then below here, you have speed, volume and speed. And said, first quadrant is being authoritative, next quadrant is being passionate, next one is calming, and next one is suspenseful. So this is the vocal variety quadrants by Jeremy Donovan, put together in 2014, and it's almost the same thing with what we had earlier, just that the person, Jeremy, is putting something slightly different, but the same approach. Speed is slower and louder when you're authoritative. Speed is faster and louder when you're passionate. Speed is slow hands up when you're calming. The speed is slow and fast when you are suspenseful. All right, so vocal, even just a 10% increase in vocal variety can have highly significant impact on your audience. Just a 10% increase in your vocal variety, just a 10% increase. Variety means the color of how you use your voice, how you express your voice. Just a 10% increase in making sure that when you want to sound authoritative, you do it well. When you want to sound, you want to be able to anticipate more, you do it well. But want people to feel the enthusiasm, the nostalgia, the euphoria you're feeling, you're fast and you're loud. Just a 10% increase in your vocal variety will have high significant impact on your audience. And that's so good too. All right. So now I want to write down this quote because it's important. It's by La Rochefoucauld. I hope I pronounced this well. It's French. I don't think I pronounced it well, but just write the name. I like his quote. And I have to quote La Rochefoucauld, or Cauld. He says that there is as much eloquence in the tone of the voice, in the eyes, and in the air of the speaker as in his choice of words. I repeat it. There is as much eloquence in the tone of the voice, in the eyes and the air of a speaker as in his choice of words. So a few things pop out from this quote that I like to pay attention to. So I would like you to underline the word tone of the voice. So there is eloquence in tonality or in vocal variety. The tone, the way you sound makes a great impression. So that's where you get eloquence. Eloquence is in tone. Eloquence is also in the eyes. Your eyes is part of your body language classification. When we're talking about body language, your eye contact, your ability to read through the eyes, and ability to use your eyes to communicate the energy that you're presenting is very important. Then notice also, aside eloquence being the eyes and the tone, there's also eloquence in the air. So there's the air that the speaker has. Every speaker has a presence. This guy is a 19th, 18th century philosopher who wrote this. There's this air around the speaker. So he says there's eloquence in tone, there's eloquence in the eyes, there's eloquence in the air, as there is eloquence in the words that the person is speaking. Such profound statements. So of course, you don't have control over this. Kind of music that is being played can also determine the tone, the atmosphere that is created. There was one of these meetings I went for. It was a business meeting, but it was a Christian business meeting. And they came to the hotel room to pick me. And the vehicle that came to pick me from the hotel room was, the driver was very fine. It was cold, chill. As I got into the vehicle, they were playing some of the songs, hits by Nathaniel Bassey, of the worship songs of Nathaniel Bassey. Trust me, I wanted to go teach, do business stuff. Because of the atmosphere in that vehicle, I was so in the spirit, as in quote, I was so attuned. When I got to the stage to speak, I started to present as though I was a preacher. I started to speak like a preacher. So I preached and I thought, but I was more spiritual. So the atmosphere in that vehicle got me to be aligned spiritually. So music plays a very major role in platform presence. One other thing that plays, and I think is the last but one thing that plays a major role in your presence is your gestures and your purposeful movements. Using your gestures well. Use your gestures to express yourself on stage, also add to the fun that you bring on stage, add to the enthusiasm, add to the excitement, add to your presence. 55% of the impact you'll have on any audience will come from them. John Wesley says, 1703 to 1791, he said, quote, set yourself on fire with passion and people will come for miles to watch you burn. Set yourself on fire with passion and people will come for miles to watch you burn. How so striking that statement is. The final thing we're going to talk about today, the control that you should have, is what I call the use of icebreakers and speaking props. Again, this is a very interesting subject matter. Icebreakers, we've taught it before, we're going to teach it again. Icebreakers are those things you do to engage the audience, to make them feel freer, engage them. Speaking props is a short form of property. So speaking props are any of those things, objects that you use on the stage as you speak, because speaking props with microphone, how you use a microphone, the pointer, the presenter, all of those things you use on the stage to present effectively is called speaking props. You want to use them. That also adds to your presence. So an icebreaker is an activity or game that is used to welcome and warm up the conversation among participants in a meeting, team building session, or an event. So there are activities, they could be games that used to welcome, that used to warm up, that there are conversations, they can be used in a meeting, as a brief meeting, or people, large people. They can be used in a team building sessions, usually in facilitating team building, in getting teams to bond, and they can also be used for events. So that's what icebreakers are. All right, guys. So that's me. Make sure you reach out to me after this class. Make sure that you reach out to me so that we can talk more about this. I'm sure you got value for the class. I thought we were going to do less than a few minutes, but we've not done. We've just done pretty much some time. I hope you got value. Let me know if you got value. Let's have a little bit of conversation before we leave. Okay, someone says you can hear me. All right. So did you get value for your time? Did you learn something new? Did you take down notes? Did you take down notes? Did you take down notes and learn something about platform presence? Do you understand the concept of platform presence? And would you now be more intentional as you go out? Oh, Dr. Adana, it's good to know that you are available.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yes, Innocent, go ahead. Let me hear you speak.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
I'm sure you've taken this class before.
Yes, sir. I've taken the class before. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm Innocent from Cameroon. Yes, sir. I must really say I've heard this. I've attended this class not once, not twice, not thrice, but every time I attend the class, there is something different. I learned something new. So it's the way you taught today is like I've never attended this class before, because I was surprised. I was busy taking notes, and the things were actually reflecting on me. For instance, talking about the dressing, talking about what you have control over, the voice. You mentioned the motivational speakers, and I also try to visualize how they speak, what they do, and everything was intact. So it's like I've never attended the class before. So today I must say I got so much value. The value I got today is inestimable. And I want to say a very big thank you, sir. Thank you for the effort. Thank you for everything that you have been doing. I really appreciate. Thank you very much, sir.
Well done, well done, well done, well done, well done. Okay, so let me read what someone else is saying here. Someone else is talking to us and is saying that yes, it said so much value each time you talk. It sounds fresh. Or that's what the speaker. That's a challenge. Before I came on to class, I'm very aware that a lot of you who will be attending this class have attended before. So I went to my slide and I tried to add a few things, add a new distinction. Maybe there's some part. I took some time to work this afternoon before I came to class, and so that it will sound. Even if you have attended the class severally, you come and say, "Oh, okay, this adds something new." I always do that to all my classes. So every time we teach a class, I'm deliberate about making sure it is better. So as a speaker, you can teach the same subject, but it should sound fresh. It should sound, oh, she's done some extra research, she has added something, you have taken out some things, do that. It will help you, make you look very, very, very sound. So let's hear some other persons talk to us before we call it a wrap for today. Let's hear, we have, it's a public speaking class, so you have to talk, You can't come in here and be silent.
Yeah, hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening, doctor. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Happy Sunday. Thank you very much for today's session. I took down notes and it's been quite interesting and informative for me. And then I really want to thank you for the 30 video challenge that you're putting on us. I think that's going to make us be on our toes instead of us to just be learning without practicing. So by God's grace, I look forward to that particular challenge. Thank you, sir. God bless you.
Start with your strengths. Start with topics that you're very passionate about. Start
Okay,
with your
sir.
strength. Start with something that you can talk without even practicing as much, so that
Yes,
we
sir.
can have videos and then move into something more technical. I really
All
wish you
right.
the best. All right.
Thank
So
you,
let's
sir.
have everybody say something. We don't have very many in class today, so everybody should say something. Let's have Edikan both say something. Let's have Mrs. Christabel say something. Let's have Mrs. Edikan, Miss Esther. Is it Mrs. or Miss Esther Odofia? Let's have Babalola, Mrs. Rosso. Go ahead,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Mr. George Essien. My name is Edikan Obot. I must say I'm sorry for coming in late, but I've learned so much so far. I've learned about the power of music and how it can change your purpose for the meeting you were supposed to talk. So the power of music is very important. So I think it can change the environment which you find yourself. So that's what I learned. But I've missed the part of the video presentation. So please, if you don't mind, can you enlighten me again the assignment on video?
Okay, the assignment, Edikan, is that we're doing a 90 days challenge, 30 videos in 90 days, 7 minutes each day, 7 minutes for each video. Is submitted for assessment. So that's the 90 days starting from the 12th of April down till the 12th month of October. I think that should be August, September, October. And then do 10 videos a month. The video should be short, 7 minutes. We'll assess it and then give you a score. We're hoping that if you do it, you'll get better, you'll improve and become better.
All right, definitely. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Who else again is here to talk to us? All right, Christopher, go ahead.
Hello, good evening, Coach. Thank you so much for this great value imparted on us today again.
Have you taken this class before?
Yes, I have. But it's like today, it's like I got more insight into this topic today. It's like I never listened to it before.
It's okay.
I got more understanding.
That's beautiful.
The topic.
That's
yeah.
To know. All right. So if you have any other person that wants to say something before we shut down for today, A.O. Collins, are you saying something? Babalola, Mrs. Babalola, are you saying something? Esther, okay, go ahead. All right. So I guess that's. Go ahead, please.
Coach.
Yes. How are you doing, ma'am?
Yes. Yeah, I have already sent something to the chat.
Okay.
But like I said, it sounded like it's new. Each time I listen, I've listened to it like a zillion times. I've been an old student, so I've heard this over and over again. And that each time I hear it, it's as if it's new each time. Today was exceptionally very, very short and precise and straight to the point. And it was really good value for our time. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. So have you done your assignment? I'm still expecting your final video.
Okay. Yes, the video, I actually went to the studio to do it. But then I had so many sessions to do and then time ran out. So we fixed another session to do it again. Okay. And okay, if I had done it earlier, I would have been sitting, but you prefer it standing. So I think maybe that's the reason why we couldn't eventually do it.
When you stand, you project yourself better. Be particular about the quality of the sound that you're bringing out, the sound and the light. When you stand, your voice will come out better. If you did the body language class, I mentioned that. When you stand, the voice come out. So please be very particular about the standing thing.
Yes, all right? Yes. Yeah, so we'll fix another session. And I hope that one will come out better and then I'll send it. The written exam is ready. In fact, it has been ready like a week after I got the questions, but it's just the video, because it has specification. I want to meet the specification. I just don't want to send any video to you.
Okay,
so
that'll be good.
What is holding me back now. So, but I hope that,
so that we can send it to them, they archive it and they send you a certificate.
Yeah. So, but I hope that by this month we should be able to fix a session. The guy is a very busy person, so that's not the only job he does. So to get him down is very hard.
Okay.
So, but I think he's back to town today, so we can fix any moment from now. So I'm sure by the end, before the month ends,
Okay.
I should be able to send in my
Your video, your final video. Well done.
my exam.
All right, exams. Okay,
Yeah. So
thank you
sorry
so
for
much.
the time.
Okay, there's no problem. Take your time. Take all the time you want. So thank you so much. Unless there's no, since we don't have any other person reaching out to us or speaking, really appreciate this. Make sure you do your assignment. We'll see again this sometime this week. Then, by the way, I must add this. Let me put off the recording.